Good day, everyone. Welcome to the world of mathematics. So, the subject for today is mathematics, the favorite of everyone, mathematics. So, today we will discuss all about patterns and sequence. So, we often need to spot a pattern in order to predict what will happen next. So we need to spot a pattern, okay? In order that we can determine or we can identify, we can know what will happen next. So just like in English, we are using our senses when we are predicting what will happen next in a certain story. So, for example, so you are reading a story and you are so much challenged or you are so much interested about what will happen next. Okay? So, just like in English, in maths or in mathematics, the correct name for a pattern of numbers is called a sequence. So just like in a story or in a literary story in English, so we are sequencing events. Okay, we need to know the first happening in the story, the second, the third, until to its ending. So in mathematics, the term used for a pattern of numbers is called sequence. So the first number in a sequence is sometimes called the first term. The second is the second term. The third is the third term. The fourth is the fourth term. And the fifth term, the fifth is the fifth term, and so on and so forth. So, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So, that would be the sequence. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth term, and so on and so forth. So, for any pattern, it is important to try to spot what is happening before you can predict the next number. So, it is very essential to try to determine or to identify what is happening. So, before you can predict the next number or the next digit in a given sequence of terms or in a given sequence of digits in mathematics. So we need to use our thinking or our thinking skills in order to predict the next number. So the first two or three numbers is rarely enough to show the full pattern. 4 or 5 numbers are best. So we can conclude or we can determine the fourth and fifth the fourth and fifth numbers or the fourth and fifth digits are this because of the two or three numbers that you've been criticized or that you've been determined, you can now give the or the fourth or the fifth numbers. Okay, so just like in English, using context clues. Okay, so in mathematics, you can also use some clues. using numbers or the digits. So for any pattern, it is important to try to spot what is happening before you can predict the next number. So 1, 2, what's the next number? So you can, upon looking at the numbers, okay, the pattern here is adding 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So the next number would be 3. Then 4, 5, until so on. So for any pattern, it is important to try to spot what is happening before you can predict the next number. So 1, 2, 4. Who thought that the next number was 3? So what comes next? So is number 3 is the next number? So of course not, because it is the numbers are going forward. So 1, 2, and 4. So the pattern here is adding 1 in the second term. Okay, then adding 2 in the next term. So 4. So 1 plus 1, 2. Then 2 plus 2 is 4. So the pattern is adding 1 plus 2. So the next term, to get the next term, so we need to add number, to add 3. So 4 plus 3. So the answer here, so the fourth digit will be 7. Then the fifth term is 10 because, or 11 because adding 4. So 7 plus 4 is equals to 11. So what comes next? So number 7. So for any pattern, it is important to try to spot what is happening before you can predict the next number. So 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. What comes next? So what is the pattern here? So 1 plus 1, 2. Then 2 plus 2 is 4. Then 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 8, 16. So what is the pattern here? So whatever the number, you are going to double it. Okay, you are going to double the number. So that's it. So the pattern is 1, adding 1, then adding 2, or adding 4. Or it can be 1. The pattern can be times 2. So 1 times 2 is equals to 2. Then 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is equals to 8. 8 times 2 is equal to 16. So what comes next here is 16 times 2 is equal to 32. So that's the pattern. Times 2, multiplying to 2. So look at what is happening from one term to the next. So see if that is what is happening for every term. So you need to add 3 in the first term. Next, adding 3 again. No, not adding 3, but rather, so 5 plus 3 is equals to 8. So then, okay, 8 plus 3 can't be 12. So what is the pattern here? Plus 4. Okay, then plus 5, then plus 6. So consecutive numbers. Okay, so plus 3, 5 plus 3 is equals to 8. 8 plus 3 is equal, or plus 4 is equal to 12. Then plus 5 is equal to 17. Then plus 6 is equals to 23. So what comes next? So 23 plus 7 is equal to 30. So 30, what is the next digit in 30? So 30 plus 8. Okay? Or 23 plus 7 is equal to 30. Then 30 plus 8 is equals to 38. So the next number here is 38. So the pattern here, in order to know the sequence of digits, is plus 3, plus 4, plus 5, plus 6, and plus 7. So here, so patterns and sequences. So maybe because of the different examples that we've tried a while ago, we can now get and we can now give, we can say that the pattern is something like that or like this. So here, the what is the pattern used here? So the numbers are 3, 7, 11, 15, 19. So what would be the next digit here? So I think, so adding 4. So let us try. 3 plus 4 is equals to 7. 7 plus 4 is equals to 11. 11 plus 4 is equals to 15. Then 15 plus 4 is equals to 19. So 19 plus 4. So the next digit is 23. Then 27. 23 plus 4 is equals to 27. So here, another one. 128, 64, then 32, then 16, then 8. Okay, so the pattern here is, I think, divide by 2. 128 divide by 2 is equals to 64. Then 64 divide by 2 is equals to 32. Then 32 divide by 2 is equals to 16. Then 16 divide by 2 is equals to 8. So what would be the next digit? So 8 divide 2 is equals to 4. Then 4 divide 2 is equals to 2. So the next terms or the next digits in 8 are 8, 4, then 2. Then another one. Here, 1,110 and 1. I think the pattern here is 1,000 divide by 10. So the answer is 100. 100 divided by 10 is equals to 10. Then 10 divided by 10 is 1. Then 1 divided 10 is 0.1. Then 0.1 divided 10 is 0.01. So that's it. So 515 here is times 3. 5 times 3 is equals to 15. 15 times 3 is equals to 45. Then 45 is equals to 45 times 3 is equal to 35. Then